Good morning. If you're new here, I'm Karen, and last December I lost my exercise mojo in a big way. I'm getting it back now, one workout at a time, and I'm inviting you to join me. What I really would like to know today is, how is your exercise mojo going? Are you getting out and moving, or are you still having trouble getting your butt off the couch? I've been there, believe me. I've been there in a big way, and I've been there in small ways, and the last 8 months it was in a big way. I just couldn't find the motivation to get moving, and it's that downward spiral I've talked about in past videos, that the worse you feel, the less you feel like exercising, and the less you exercise, the worse you feel. And then when you start moving, especially after a certain age, you get to the point that things start to hurt, and you don't want to be injured, because when you're injured, you can't move. So how do you get out of that spiral? And the first thing, I think, and the most important thing, and it's not about exercise, it's actually mental. Own that really crappy feeling and really sink into it and let yourself feel it. Because I think what happens is we get so tangled up in the shame and the guilt because we're not doing something that we know we should be doing. And I'll borrow a term from Tony Robbins about shoulding all over yourself. And I think, try to get the sun out of here. And I think that's one of the things we do, is we're so tied up around the guilt and the shame that we're not really, that's almost a defense from looking at how crappy we feel. Darn, the sun is really nasty. Sorry about that. It's over. I think what happens is we end up defending ourselves, building up defenses, because we're feeling shame and guilt as well as just not feeling good. And getting real about those feelings is important, because then you can deal with them. I think I have a saboteur in my in my psyche, and I call it the slug. And it's that slug just does not want to move and finds all kinds of excuses to why today's not a good day to go out. And I think that when that triggers a cascade of not just physically feeling bad, but also mentally feeling bad. So I think one of the things, I need to just acknowledge that there are kind of guilt and shame and just generally blah and physically not feeling well, and then do something little. Take a small step. One of the things I think is that too many people in the health and wellness space are just like, just get out there and do it. Just go for it. It doesn't work. I'm saying, get up and make the bed. Get up and walk around the block. Vacuum the living room. Do something. Doesn't have to be magnificent. It doesn't have to be a 10K like I'm training to do. And that's actually how I started a few months ago, is just making sure I made my bed every day and washing the dishes in the evening and just stuff like that. But I was just moving around and wasn't necessarily exercising until I finally got out and started taking little walks and doing my physical therapy exercises, which is my second point, besides feel the feelings and really sink into and getting real about what you're feeling. But the next is find a physical therapist if you can and get an assessment so that you're exercising in a healthy way and not going to injure yourself, or less likely to injure yourself. So the third thing is, and I think also really important, is lose the fitness tracker. There's actually some research done that, sorry about this backup horn. There's been some research, and it's a while ago that I came across it, but fitness trackers, like pedometers, they put pedometers on people to see if it really motivated them to walk more, and it didn't. They actually don't work as motivation. I think with a fitness tracker that gives you all kinds of metrics about your heart rate and mileage, they are really good when you're motivated to go and do better. They are a detriment if you're feeling bad about yourself. The last thing you need is a little screen telling you that you didn't do a very good job, that you were too slow. When I look at my I have an Apple Watch, and when I look at my route, it's always yellow. They have yellow and they have green. When you've been going, quote unquote, fast enough, you get a green line. And I'm always yellow. It doesn't matter whether I'm running, whether I'm walking, I get like these tiny, tiny little bits of green here and there, but that's it. And even when I was running at my fastest, I was still yellow. You just don't need that in your life if your motivation is really low. So I hope this helps. Please let me know where your mojo is. And if you've found anything else that's helped to motivate you to get out and start moving, I'd love to know. And today's workout is sprints. And I'm actually doubling because I'm low on food. So I'm doing my sprints toward a grocery store where I'll stop and get a few things. I'll check it at the end and let you know how we did. Oh, okay, I did 6. I meant to do 7, but I sprinted past the grocery store and had to walk back. So, that feels so good. I really love getting my heart rate up. And this hill means I can do it and don't have to put too much pounding on my knees. One of the things I learned in my last workout was that my core was not strong enough to hold the proper position when I'm going fast. And I've been increasing my sprints by 30 seconds each week. Don't want to do more than 2 minutes. But I think that just holding proper form for 2 minutes while I'm going absolutely as fast as I can is really hard, which tells me I need to incorporate more strength training, which is going to take more time, but core is really important. It's as we age, it's what keeps us from falling. So I think that any core strength, not just supports my physical activity and my 10K training, but it just supports life in general. So that's where I need to focus a lot of my energies. I hope this was helpful. I really want you to get some exercise mojo for yourself and get off the couch and start moving. So let me know how you're doing. Really appreciate it. Any comments. And I will see you tomorrow.